Okay, this is the last one I got to do here, and I got to kind of watch it because I've only got about 6 minutes of tape left, so I can't do the usual length. But let me try to wrap this up a little bit. We got into sort of noticing various things: the exceptional state, how we're going to look inside each other, ourselves, how we're going to maybe experiment, how we can start to study this, how over time we don't have to all of a sudden get it today. Over time we're going to get better and better at this when we start to practice introspection. And at the last I brought in the problems connected to the will, which the deepest of which are connected with desires that manifest us in us, and the determinism. And there are really two kinds of determinism in modern life that we need to find ourselves in free relationship to. And one determinism is the biological determinism, and a lot of scientific thinking basically declares that we're determined by our biology. We're not free before it. Things get hardwired into us, and guys do studies on the altruism gene. They want to look for the altruism based in matter because they can't, in their system of ideas, think about spirit, and of course eventually that's just going to collapse on itself, because if you're going to understand altruism, you're going to have to understand spirit. We're spirit, soul, and body. We're not just a material body. And the secrets of altruism and all the rest of that are only going to be found by studying inwardly the inwardness. That's what the student of consciousness today doesn't do. He doesn't study himself. He doesn't do the Greek, I know thyself. But in Anthroposophy, in real Anthroposophy, we're going to do that. We're going to study ourself, our subjectivity, in all its glory, and realize how much is objectively real in the glory of our own I am. Okay, now the other determinism is a moral determinism. The society says, well, this is the right thing to do, and it says it in lots of different ways, and in fact you could look at the chaos in political dialogue and realize that all these shouting heads and all the confusion they create is all rooted in being pretty much disturbed by the belief that if I think a thing is right, it's right universally and everybody else should do it. And of course, when this comes out of Christians, this is a determinism that's really ugly, because it's in denial of what Christ taught when he taught about the mote and the beam. You got to get to your own beam first. You have to understand the beam. When you understand the beam, then you'll be capable of understanding the thou, the mode and the thou. And you'll come at it with compassion and love, and you won't go around saying, you can't be a homosexual anymore. You can't have an abortion. That's a horrible sin, and you're going to go to hell. That's the judgment, that's the beam. So in the philosophy of freedom, we want to understand how to be not determined by moral things and not determined by things that are of matter, or seem to be of matter, that is, our drives and hungers and desires. And that's part of what Anthroposophy is for. There's more, but I'll leave that for another day. Thank you for listening. Don't go too crazy, but do go a little crazy. It's really nice.